you guys are ready.
Okay.
All right.
Who's going to do the Melissas? Should I do the Melissas when we come back, or?
Yeah, we should do that in segment 2.
Okay, got it. Okay.
When we come back. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right, gentlemen, we got 3 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes on the clock. Here we go.
It's We'll See About That with World Series MVP Ron Cey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to We'll See About That. Ron Cey here, and we've got a makeshift group with the usual suspects. Mike is still recuperating at home. Corey is behind the board, and Steve Markinson is in the house. So once again, the usual suspects are here. I want to say happy Passover to all of those who celebrated that event. And, of course, we had something on the second day of Passover that was pretty unique in our nation's history. The space launch of Artemis II. What a deal. 10-day mission. It's on the Orion module. Reed Weissman is the commander. Victor Glover is the pilot. And the 2 mission specialists are Christina Koch and Jeremy Hansen. I remember back in 1969, the landing on the moon. I was in Bakersfield, California, playing some baseball, and that was quite a night. You guys remember where you were when that happened?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was in my first apartment.
I wasn't.
No, you were probably even here.
I wasn't. That was the statement.
Sorry about that one. You were still a thought, a distant thought.
Yeah. I didn't even look over at you. I forgot about you.
You know what? I am so bad. Mike is. I think Mike's in this category too.
Yeah, no, I was not around for that. I was not around for that at all.
Well, maybe it's just you and me.
Man, yeah. Well, yeah. Boy. Okay.
But one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Yeah, that
I mean,
was
right.
That
That's
footage
right.
is still evocative, no matter if you're watching that live or years after the fact, as
Yeah.
Corey and I were.
And they're going to go around the moon, and they're going to come back, and they're going to test all of their equipment, and they're going to land in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of San Diego. So I hope that that all goes well.
Well, this is one of. There's 2 more after this one, hopefully, and I guess the last one, God willing, if it goes all well, goes to Mars. Is that correct?
And this is a true NASA mission too.
Yes.
This isn't one of those private ones like SpaceX or Blue Origin. This is actual, the true blue NASA, and so Godspeed to those guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to follow this up with the March Madness men's and women's tournament, followed by Major League Baseball and the new gadget they've got involved, and ended up with current events. So we'll be right back. We'll see about that right after this. Stay tuned.
Nicely done, gentlemen.
Okay, you want to come back in, Mike, or do you want to have me just start it off?
Whatever you prefer. I can bring it back if you prefer.
Okay, I'll open it up, and then we can start talking.
All right. Do you want to open it, and then I'll throw to me to do the Melissa's read, or you want to do the Melissa's read too?
I'll just do the Melissa's read when we come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, we got 10 minutes on the clock. 10 minutes on the clock. Here we go.
They still call me the Penguin. Okay, we are back. We'll see about that. And before we get started talking about March Madness, I want to remind you that Melissa's is a proud partner of We'll See About That. Be sure to use my VIP code Ron Cey when checking out at melissas.com. All right. Well, it shapes up as expected on the women's side of things. They have all 4 number 1 seeds for the second year in a row matching up again, with defending national champion UConn undefeated, facing off with a big rival in South Carolina, a number 1 seed as well. And then our UCLA Bruins, led by Corey Close, play the other game against the University of Texas, and Texas and UCLA is a rematch from the earlier on this season when UCLA suffered their only loss. I think this is really going to be exciting. All four of these teams have been destroying people across the board, and now they're matched up against each other. I think it's going to be really exciting. You got any favorites here?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously, I got to go with the hometown favorite, UCLA, friend of the show, Corey Close. And, the Blue Bloods in women basketball are still apparent. It's very interesting. However, there is a little bit of breaking news here, gentlemen, along the lines of women's college basketball. Audi Crooks, who was Iowa State's star player, the second highest scorer in the nation this year, she has entered the transfer porthole. And so I think it's kind of interesting that we might going to see like reverberations, because we all know, we've all talked about the fact that women's college basketball is becoming quite popular now, that maybe we're going to see some reverberations with NIL, transfer portals, in the women's game too.
Wow, I wonder where she's thinking about going. I would have to say that if she's looking to go a notch up, it's got to be one of these four.
Yep.
Yeah, it would seem most likely.
Yep.
I would like to see her go to USC and form a big three with Jazzy, with Juju, and her.
I think
Yes,
USC is
correct.
going to
That'd be
rebound.
nice.
I think USC is going to rebound in
Yeah.
a very big way this next year. I think they're going to be right up there in that mix. I believe UConn is losing their two best players. But they always seems to somehow regroup, and
It's amazing.
it really is. Gino Ariyama has won 12 national championships. He's been there for what was it, 25 years? Or
Something
no,
like that.
they've been in 25 national championship games.
Yes.
And if you know the history, they are number one in basketball and on the women's side. They have got so many great players that you could just. They've got probably a dozen players that everybody else does not.
Correct.
You
And
know?
how do they get them?
Well, recruiting and winning helps.
Yep.
You always, want to go to a place that you feel like you've got an opportunity to be a national champion or a world champion. I was thrilled when I got drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers because they were in the middle of the 60s then. They were in 3 World Series, world champions. So to get drafted by a team that's what I wanted to accomplish, was right up my alley. And then, of course, there's always the other side of it. A lot of these kids want to be on the team that takes that big number one down.
Yep.
And so, it's I can understand both sides.
Yes, definitely.
So who are our picks? Who are we picking? We got, like as Ron said, UConn, South Carolina on one side, and UCLA and Texas on the other. I understand that UCLA is probably most of our sentimental favorites, but who are we thinking here?
Well, I'm hoping that UCLA can beat Texas. It's going to be a big ask, but it's going to be a big ask for Texas too.
Yep.
UCLA has lost one game. They've played great. South Carolina, I think, is going to be a problem, but UConn is undefeated. They've won 53 games in a row.
Yep.
How do you pick against them?
But they're due to lose.
Well, yeah, but you know what? They also were the ones that broke UCLA's men's record for most consecutive wins. I think they won over 100 games in a row, didn't they? At another period of time.
Yeah,
So,
105. Something like that.
I would like to see UConn and UCLA in the final.
Yep.
That's what I'm going with as well.
Yeah, I think all 3 of us are the same. Or 4 of us, I should say. No, Mike, I don't know what you got.
Yeah, no, I definitely would want to see UCLA and UConn in the final, and I want to see UCLA win the whole thing because I love UCLA and I love Los Angeles, love California, and it's nice to see UCLA be competitive in sports. All right, gentlemen, let's move over to the men's side. I think probably what we should start with is one of the most historic games, one of the most just absolutely jaw-dropping games that I've ever seen in college basketball, which of course was UConn versus Duke. And of course, UConn won on a last-second shot after what I guess you can kindly call a horrible, terrible gaffe by Mr. Boozer for Duke. What did you guys think about that game and that result?
Well, my thoughts in the beginning is this is the second year in a row now that Duke has gotten into a situation, and it was the Final Four last year where they couldn't hold on to the ball. All they had to do is hold on to the ball, and the game is over with. And in this case here, I've always thought about these things. I've had a lot of time to think about all these ways of which, chaos comes around. And I've always thought about, what's wrong with throwing the ball up in the air as high as you can throw it, with that amount of time that's left on the clock, you figure it's going to go up a couple seconds and it's going to come down a couple of seconds, and somebody's got to get the ball and somebody's got to shoot it and defend it. And I just don't think there would have been any time left. And it was a pass that did not need to be made. Mm-mm. They did not have to worry about getting over the center line. They could have thrown the ball backwards, make somebody chase it, roll it over there, and time would have expired. Yeah. And the worst case scenario, they deflect it. They've got a guy that picks it up. Another guy throws to a guy who's open for 35 feet away, a freshman, and he makes it. And, yeah, you shouldn't have lost the game. Probably shouldn't have made the pass, but crazy things happen. And just, if you remember, Duke was involved in another one years and years ago with Christian Laettner. Yeah. And I hate Christian Laettner fans have responded over the years about that one. And I think that was against North Carolina, wasn't it? Or was that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, look, there's been a lot of great moments in college basketball, and for Duke, there's pretty much no way you're going to lose this game if somehow you lost it.
I mean, well, it's UConn came back from 19 points down, too, and it's the first time a number one seed lost after leading 15-plus at halftime. To me, this is the big – and I just feel so bad for young Mr. Boozer. This has got to be probably the biggest gaffe since Chris Webber called that phantom timeout years ago, which I believe was the same year that Laettner hit that game-winning shot. But, he didn't need to do what he did.
No.
And I don't understand why the coach wasn't screaming in his ear, just hold the ball, hold the ball, hold the ball. I understand maybe instinct takes over at that point, but that was definitely one of the most exciting games that I have seen. So where does it stand now? Let's look at the standings. We have Duke versus UConn in Arizona versus Duke beat UConn beat Duke, of course. We just talked about that. Arizona beat Purdue, and now the Final Four is set. We have UConn versus Illinois and Arizona versus Michigan.
I have been paying attention to Illinois kind of from a distance. I know that they have been ranked in the top 10 for most of the year. They've kind of gone under the wire. They're the tallest team in college basketball. They have a lot of size and dimension to them. They go about 8 deep, I think. I think, and they've got a first-team All-American, a freshman on their team that led their team in scoring this year. I think they're a force. I like Illinois in this game. I think UConn, obviously, has pulled out all the stops. They were a team that St. John's beat and lost the conference championship to a game, and somehow they're here. I don't know if they've got enough to get past them, but Arizona, Michigan is the game. The national champion comes from that game.
Yeah.
Just for degenerate gamblers, Illinois is a 1.5 underdog points, and Michigan as well is a 1.5 points underdog as well.
These four teams are so equal. I mean, just flip
I like
coin,
Arizona.
Man. I mean, I do too. At the end, I like Arizona, but they're going to be great games. I hope. Yeah.
Arizona has been the most fun team for me to watch this year. However, I think it would be quite compelling to see a 3-seed, Mr. Illinois, get to the championship.
Well, we'll see about that, won't we? Right after this.
Nicely done.
Okay. You want to skirt right into baseball, and you want to open up, Mike?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll open this one up, talk about a little baseball.
And
automated ball and strike system.
Well, how about and the gaff that umpire did? What was opening day or the next day, whatever that was?
CB Buckner.
Yeah,
he had a horrible week.
26 different. Yeah, I mean
he missed 26 pitches. He had 6 out of 6 ABS overturned.
Yep.
Then the next day he was the first base umpire. And
that I saw that.
The guy landed square on first.
And he said he missed the bag.
And he said he missed the bag. They go to the interview and the review, and it literally took half a second.
He wasn't even looking at the play. He was looking. He was looking directly at home plate.
And then yesterday he took a foul ball to the face behind the plate and had to get carted out.
Yeah,
he had a rough week.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was unaware that it was Buckner that missed the
base
call at first base.
Yeah,
because
it was him.
You saw it, and I'm saying. And then it's like, wait a minute, the only guy that stepped on the base was this guy.
And Derek Shelton was the Twins manager that got ejected after arguing the umpires of the ABS system that proved that he was right.
Yes, it was a check swing, and I saw that, and I'm saying, this is the part that's a problem. It's just like, the umpires make a mistake, and then they compound the problem by kicking the manager out of the game. You ought to just suck it up, big guy. You made the mistake. There's no reason to get pissed off at him because you were wrong. And then, it just.
And I know in the NBA, if you get ejected, either player or coach, you get like a fine. It's usually like $2,500 or something like that. Do you get fined if you're ejected as a manager?
Yes, you do, and as a player. And I don't know if there is an automatic number attached to that or not. They don't have a number like they do in basketball, where if you get ejected from a game, they keep track of it, and then at some point you get suspended.
16.
Is that how it works?
16 times.
It's just technicals.
Yeah,
technicals. Technicals. Well, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, it is, but you have to get 2 technicals to get ejected.
Right.
But,
But
it's 16.
And then 16 total, like
Luka just missed his last game.
This is the part that also we should probably talk about it. But when you're one away, why would you risk it?
Yeah.
Why would you risk it?
Well, also when you're one away, your opponents will just try to goat you the whole time.
Of course, you just kind of walk away.
Well, the only thing about that is some teams, because I remember like the enforcers for the Lakers used to do like Ron Artest. So once you get that 16th, it's another 5 till you get again.
Another 5,
and it doesn't reset for the playoffs. So they'll do that last 16 like this near the end, and now Luka will probably try to hold back for the last couple games so he can have his 5 in the playoffs. But if you get another technical if you get the 16th in the playoff, you have to miss that next game.
Yeah, that famously happened to Draymond Green a couple of years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
We should probably talk about that.
Okay.
Are we gonna? Well,
we're doing basketball in the 4th, right?
But we won't have time to do that. But we can intermix it. I don't mind.
We can segue to it.
That. Sure.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right. I'll open this one up.
All right. Here we go.
All right. We got 12 minutes on the clock. Here we go.
Hello, Ron Say.
All right, welcome back. You are listening to We'll See About That, the Ron Say Show with the legend, the champion, the MVP, Mr. Ron Say. I am Mike Gary, and joined by the Brain Trust as well, with Corey and Steve. Talking a little baseball, gentlemen. We are in the first month of the season, and we are experiencing quite interesting times here in the Major League Baseball with the ABS system, the automated ball and strike challenge system. And I think we can say the first victim of this system would be the umpire, Mr. C.B. Buckner, who has really not covered himself with glory this to start the season. 6 calls overturned in one game, Reds versus Red Sox. Multiple additional calls overturned across games. One sequence, 2 straight strike calls overturned in the same at-bat, and another blown call at first base overturned immediately. Teams have gone perfect on challenges against him in stretches, 5 for 5. What do we think about the ABS system, and what do we think about poor Mr. Buckner's bad week?
Oh my God, I think this thing is on fire. I mean, they got off to a booming start. I don't know if saying I feel sorry for the umpire Buckner is fair or not, but wow. He certainly has put himself on the hot spot. There was a play at first base too, wasn't there? That
Yeah, man.
came up and he was the first base umpire, and they appealed this play, and he said there was nobody that stepped on first base, and they clearly show this over, and he's the only guy that was near the bag that stepped on the base.
And both both managers just started laughing like crazy because they just couldn't believe what was going on. But I have a question. Is there any way of this guy being dismissed?
That would take an bigger act than what's going on right now. The Players Association, they will protect this. It's going to be awfully hard. I remember, wasn't it just last year where we had an umpire that was scrutinized to a point where he eventually just said, I'm going to step down. That's probably the only way to do it, but I think that there was probably an arrangement that was made before that, because these guys are finally making some really good money with some benefits. So I think it'd be pretty hard to just say we're going to let you go. There would be a union fight.
Absolutely, but I mean, it's like it's a public shame. I mean, no one likes to make mistakes, but especially no one likes to make mistakes in public. And I think that, of course, the umpires union is going to fight tooth and nail to protect their membership, but at some point, the league itself, and also probably the players themselves, will be like, "Look, you're killing us over here. 86%. You're making 86% of the calls correct. That's 14%. I mean, Ron, think about your career statistics.
You're preaching to the choir.
You had 14% of calls were called wrongly against you. I mean, that's taking money out of a player's potential pocket there.
Yeah. Well, I do like the idea that you can challenge now. It's a strategic measure as well. You only get 2. Once you lose 2, you're done. But if you keep winning the challenges, you get to keep that.
Yes.
But it would be wise that you probably don't challenge a call in the first inning. You got a whole long game to play, unless the bases are loaded or something. It's got to be strategically tied to whether you can take advantage of it on a big scale. And down the road, if you remember, or actually going back in time when you had the World Baseball Classic, and that one pitch that was well below the strike zone that ended the game, that is the time that you wish you had the system in place. Because then I think that guy would have walked, and I don't recall the exact situation, but the game would have still been alive. And so, you got to be careful with it. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. But right now, I would say that I did see one player challenge 2 pitches in a row. And he won both challenges.
That was against Buck.
Was it
Buck.
against?
That was
Because it was called strike 3 twice, and they were both low. And he was like, "Check it again."
Check it again.
Well, there was one play where I saw, I believe, a Twins player. He challenged the call. He hit the top of his head and immediately ran to first base because he knew that the strike that was called was an actual ball, which awarded him a walk. And also Derek Shelton, speaking of the Twins, he was thrown out after arguing with an ump over a call, and then the ABS truly realized that Mr. Derek Shelton had quite a good point. I mean, and he was thrown out. I mean, what happens? Does Mr. Shelton, Derek Shelton, this Minnesota Twins manager, have any recourse for that? I mean,
no,
I don't think so.
He pays his fine, and the club will probably pay the fine. It's probably the arrangement. But it was definitely a swing on a check swing, and they both missed it. And they showed it, and now the crowd is responding. And when the manager comes out of the dugout to argue the call, because they're saying, "This guy, get him out of there! Get this umpire off the field. He's terrible," And it's like he kicks him out of the game after it was a double problem. Now made things worse.
How do you? If you're an opposing team or a home team, whatever, and Buckner's behind the home plate as the umpire again, I mean, how do you think these guys are going to feel? And,
look, you got one every 4 days.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the toughest job is
Yeah.
behind the plate,
Yeah,
no doubt
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
And it kind of goes around the horn. Next toughest job is the next number of calls, which is first base, and then second base, and then third base. And there's a chance that the third base umpire might have one or two calls the whole night. Maybe have to call a ball foul or fair, or maybe have a tag play.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, gentlemen. I mean, it seems this might be an untenable situation. So, I mean, one thing you can do, perhaps maybe it's a sign of just the times where, like as Ron said, and I think everybody realizes that home plate umpire is like one of the hardest things you can do, especially now when guys are throwing 106 miles an hour and there's so much movement on all these different pitches. I mean, do we stick with the system as is, where we have actual human umpires in the challenge system, or do we go full robots, or we do kind of a hybrid of the two, tennis style, where you kind of have a figurehead, like as the guy in the chair, i.e. the home plate umpire, but really everything's confirmed automatically up in the booth?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope this system works. I really do. I hope the umpires get better with it. I would really not like to see a completely robotic game. No. Just like the more I think about AI, I'm kind of getting discouraged by it, because I think in the long term, it's going to take a lot of people's jobs away.
Yep.
And what are they going to do?
Yeah.
So let's stick to baseball in the moment. But yeah, I hope that the umpires. Let's see how it plays out. Right now it hasn't been a great start, but hopefully they'll get better and learn from it, and we'll have a system that works.
Well, okay, so they did it in the minor leagues, the last couple of years or so?
Yeah, the last 3 years.
And it worked, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's
Here.
gotten
Yeah, that's
to this
why it's
point.
here. Yeah,
I mean,
so,
they feel
yeah.
like they've done enough of the experimentation to put it into play, and so now it's going to be a practical experience.
And the thing the only thing I like, 'cause it's been quick, it's been great, and I'll give a little bit of leeway because the managers, they didn't get to practice with it. The umpires didn't get to practice with it. They only practiced this spring and last spring. So they still got it, and they had their own. They a little up here, and I have a little bit of numbers, and me and my numbers.
Yeah.
So 70 of the 160 pitches that missed, that were called and that were overturned, were by less than an inch.
Yeah.
One of them for the Oriole game was the ball was 1/16 of an inch in the strike zone. Mm-hmm. And so that's a strike, but seeing it at 100 miles an hour, there's no way you're able to call that right.
I agree.
And I get that. And this whole system was made for the ones that were outside, the Dominican Republic ball four to end the game type thing. And that's where it's good. But we do got to give him a little leeway. Buckner, again, he's the face of it because he had a horrible week. But I think it's perfect right now. And another note, that it only added one more minute onto the game because they were thinking if they keep challenging it through the game, it's only averaged one more minute to gameplay.
Well, I thought it was like 13 seconds or so that they come back with some sort of an answer.
No, I think it's faster than that.
Yeah,
Really?
it's quick.
Yeah, it's
13
faster
seconds
than
is quick.
that. No,
I know,
it's
and-
not. It's slow. That's way too much.
That's like
time.
a whole pitch clock.
No, I would say a few seconds.
Yeah, it's quick.
Well, I guess I have to jump in and be the old fuddy-duddy here, because it seems to me, and ever since we've seen this probably for the last 10 years, be it the runner on second during extra innings, or the bigger bases, or anything like that. But now the numbers are completely meaningless, because as we've seen, if 86% of the calls are right, if you have 14% calls are errors, and those are being overturned, that really throws the numbers into a wash, because everybody before this has had to deal with this, let's call it just this 14% error rate. And now those errors are being adjudicated right at the plate and are being overturned. The guys that played before this, their numbers are going to be worse than the numbers of the guys who played after this. So, I mean, in baseball, it's all about numbers. It's all about legacy. It's all about America's pastime. Seems like that's not an issue anymore. No one's thinking about that.
Well, because there's nothing you can do about it.
Nope.
I think the fact that the obvious is that if you get a chance to challenge, sooner or later you're gonna be right a few times. So whatever percentage that works into being, but. It was grin and bear it back and then, and we're, like I said, let's give it some time. I hope that it works. I hope that, I honestly think that the fans might like this, because they get to see in a very short period of time how close this pitch was. You know, and it gives them something to, you know, say, oh my God, that thing just missed, or it was right on the line. You know, and if you've seen it in tennis before, I mean, these things are close. Okay, so let's let it play out a little bit before we hammer these guys anymore. It's only the first week of baseball, and we'll be coming back with more of We'll See About That right after this. Stay with us.
Very nicely done.
Open up this highly explosive next segment.
Did you guys want to talk about Tiger at all?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
We can send
did you
Tiger
see,
if you want to.
Mike? Did you see the tape?
Oh, I saw some still photographs of him like on it, like taking one knee, looking very forlorn.
CNN this morning that I was watching had the full tape.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he they put the cuffs on him at the end. I mean, there was reasons, you know, he shouldn't have been driving. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess now he's actually trying to petition the court for him to like go do some sort of rehab abroad. I understand that like he suffers from chronic pain. So,
Yes. Well, look at how many operations the guy's had.
Yeah, I mean,
look
well,
look at the pain you went through, or you're going through. Come
He
on.
almost lost his leg in this last car
Yeah,
crash, and
yeah,
then he's
that's
got a
right.
terrible back too. And so I have some empathy for that. But he's a billionaire. Can't you just hire a driver?
They say it's because he doesn't want people to know where he's going.
Where do you think he's going? Do you think he's
Get
dipping
more
into the whores
pills
again?
and whores, yeah.
I thought he's dating Don Jr.'s ex-girlfriend.
I thought so too, but I think she gave him an ultimatum.
He's been dating and marrying a bunch of times. Doesn't stop him.
I'm sorry, I don't have too much empathy for him. He's been a car wreck for many times.
Yeah.
And when it seems like it, smells like it, feels like it, usually is. And
Well, I mean, Steve and Ron, you've probably heard the stories just in the circles that you guys run in about, what Earl was like. You know what Earl.
Oh
was,
yeah.
Earl was just a bad dude.
No, I
like,
mean, yeah, right. Look, there's plenty of stories. I mean, Gretzky used to tell me stories about when they would come and play out at Sherwood or something.
Yeah.
That Tiger would come over to his house and he'd want to party all night long and I mean literally all night long.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was a mess.
Yeah.
He's and the number of car incidences that he's had. I mean, that was part of what happened in the driveway of his home with his first wife, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, she went after him with a golf club. And,
I mean, I can imagine why.
Yes.
yeah. I mean, he probably had it coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the circumstances in that particular case, but I think that look, he's been chasing this.
Yes,
And he's been running into it a lot.
Yeah.
And now he's stepping away because he has maybe a pill addiction. That sounds appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, it fits.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about it if you want on the
If you're going to do that, you got to buy the Puka.
Well, I don't. What are we going to do about? I mean, should we delve into it? Should we just talk about maybe the No Kings protest and Pam Bondi and
Sure.
a couple of others, rather than going through and getting deeply involved in this thing any more than we need to?
As far as Tiger goes.
No, just talk about Tiger a little bit, and then we can, into current events. Did you guys go to any of you show up for the No Kings?
I
here?
walked.
It was
I
out
was,
in
it was
Woodland
right
Hills.
here. Yeah, I happened to choose the wrong path that day. I walk like 4 miles, 5 miles
well-
every time, and I forgot they were right there, and they were nice. I walked right through them on Victory and Topanga, and no one was doing anything. They were just all nice.
I got it. I need to figure out what we want to do with that. Should we just kind of stay away from the harder core stuff that we may have talked about? Because I got plenty of things I could bash this with.
Yeah. Well, do you want? Okay. Well, the answer
I mean,
or the question.
I just don't know how involved I want to get with it because I mean, look, there's an embargo going on in Cuba, right? And so somehow, there's a Russian oil tanker that gets through, right? Much needed, I guess, relief.
Yes.
But what kind of an arrangement was worked out for that? Is that kind of the same kind of thing where you take the tariffs off the Iranian oil and allow them to resupply their war chest after you're trying to strangle them? I mean, if somebody can figure this out, I mean, this is the kind of shit that we could be talking about. But I mean, do we want to drive ourselves nuts with this, or do you want to just touch it and go?
Well,
we can touch it and go. I mean, we don't really need to spend too much time on it. I mean, I think pretty much everybody's aware of how fucked up things are right now. But I think we should talk about Tiger for a little bit.
Okay.
And then I think we should pivot into some of the more world events here.
Yeah. I mean, you saw somebody called Bruce Springsteen a traitor.
Yeah.
Did you see that? I mean, he said, I'm not buying his music anymore.
Well, the thing that pissed me off the most this week is that these guys, these Apache helicopter pilots flew a little stunt flyby over Kid Rock's house in Tennessee, and you're not supposed to do that, and so they got suspended.
And
then Pete Hegseth comes in and says on Twitter, we love Kid Rock, suspension's lifted.
Yeah.
I mean, what's next? Are you going to see guys driving around with M1 tanks, just driving by their friend's house and popping off the gun because it's fun?
Let's bring that up. Yeah, let's segue into that after we get with do Tiger.
Okay.
You want to come back with Tiger?
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, we got 13 on the clock. Here we go.
All right, we are back. We'll see about that with the legend, the champion, the MVP, Mr. Ron Cey. I'm Mike Gary, joined by the Complete Brain Trust. And we would be remiss to not discuss something that happened earlier this week with one of the most famous and some say notorious athletes of all time, Mr. Tiger Woods. Mr. Tiger Woods was involved in a daytime car accident where he was in a Range Rover, and the Range Rover ended up on its side. And I should note, this was in the middle of the day in Florida. And the police were called, and the police showed up, and Mr. Tiger voluntarily submitted to a breathalyzer where he blew a 0.0000. However, according to the field sobriety test, he was, according to the police, impaired and was arrested for DUI. Spent a couple hours in the pokey, was bailed out, and now Mr. Tiger says that he is going to take some time off, not play in the Masters, and pretty much attend rehab. Mr. Tiger's had a rough road these past couple years, probably the last decade, I would say. And a couple questions to pose to you. First of all, the man's a billionaire. Why doesn't he have a driver? Second of all, will we ever see Tiger Woods be competitive? And would you ever see him winning another tournament ever again?
Corey, you want to take a shot?
Do they still have those father-son tournaments?
Yes, they do. There's some pro-ams.
Charlie's played in some.
So maybe that, or maybe in a couple years when that over 60 one.
Is it over 60 or is it over 50?
The senior tour?
I thought the senior tour was over 60.
I think it's 50.
Yeah, that's what I said. 50.
I was hoping for maybe a Robert Downey Jr. comeback, and then he just wrecks the 60-year-old tour.
I don't see him winning. I think it's a good idea that he steps away. I think he's got addictive problems, along with some other problems. This isn't the first time that we've heard about a car wreck involving Tiger Woods. So like I said, it hits a little close to home here. I think this is a reoccurring thing that has happened in his life, and I think that if he wants to continue to lead a good life, then he should probably get himself straightened away.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel some sort of empathy with him because I know he's gone through a lot of injuries. He is in pretty much constant pain. However, it's no excuse to be tooling around high up on goofballs. Also, I think anybody who just tangentially was around the golf scene down here in Southern California knew that he came from somewhat of an abusive household. He was a child star. He's kind of got child star syndrome. But however, that's no excuse if you're driving around at 2 p.m. in Florida in a Range Rover impaired. And so, I mean, obviously, I hope he gets the help he needs. And I do not see him definitely not winning another major, but hopefully he can have some peace in his future endeavors.
Okay. Well,
all right,
there's
let's
not
talk
much
about
else.
let's move on and let's talk briefly, gentlemen. No Kings protests, pretty historic, some might say. Millions have joined. I know several people who have joined those protests myself, and they were extremely peaceful. I did enjoy seeing the New York Police Department put out a tweet saying that over 6 million people were marched peacefully in New York City, not one single arrest. So is this maybe a broader movement here?
According to those people who, are in a position to know that better than I am, I would say it was incredibly significant. It's an awareness. They did it peacefully. I'm not sure that if I'm a person who cares about their image and how they project themselves, that you can live with a group of people that are so against what you're doing that you feel good about it. That would be me. That would hurt me incredibly if I saw some of the things that that people are standing up against, and I'm the one they're standing up against.
Let me ask you this. I want to couch this towards Steve and towards to Ron. I would say our distinguished panelists.
Yeah.
You mentioned at the very first segment, you guys were around for the moon landing in 1969. It was quite a year in this country. There was a very unpopular president and a very unpopular war. Now we are in 2026 with a very unpopular president and a very unpopular war.
Yeah.
Any parallels you guys see between those two?
My God, I didn't even think about that, but you're correct.
For me, I think I stated last week that the New York Times reported that this presidency is the most corrupt presidency in the history of our country.
Yep.
And the Nixon administration was number 3. I think there was somebody else in between that. I don't recall, but it was way back when.
Yeah.
And, we are currently ranked, according to the poll, 26th in the world as far as being one of the most corrupt countries. We climbed the ladder since the last time. I don't think that we're getting a very good presentation of ourselves as far as the rest of the world is concerned.
Yeah.
I think we have lowered ourselves. I mentioned that it seemed to me when we had the general on here a few weeks ago that we turned in from being the world police to the world bully.
Yeah.
And we are stepping away from our allies with this. Look what we did again to Canada. Canada, we hit them with horrible tariffs. Why? They're our greatest ally. They've helped us at times of need. They are now selling their energy to Japan, China, India, Australia, and others as we speak. They are going to be, it's going to take some time, but they're moving away from us.
As other countries.
Yeah, I mean, and as I said, I don't want to be redundant here, but, we've got our hands in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
There's an embargo in Cuba. We got involved with Venezuela. We removed their leader. We've been talking about Greenland. We've got our hands in Ukraine and Russia. We've got, our hands with Israel and took out the supreme leader in Iran. On and on and on and on. I mean, do we have enough water to put out the fire? I don't know.
And there's so many problems here at home that he just doesn't address. And I think that's another reason why people are demonstrating, because they can't afford to do anything. Okay? And it seems like the rich are getting richer, the poor are still getting poorer. And they're paying for it, and it's disgraceful. And
well, at some point in time, you got to take your head out of the sand. Look, you can't. You've got to be more intelligent about what's going on here. Okay, it's right in front of you.
Yep.
And I'm not going to lose any sleep over the president's firing Pam Bondi at all.
Yeah, of course, that news broke today. It's just earlier in the week. It's Pam Bondi has been sacked. The way that he does it, same with the way he did with Kristi Noem, is that he moved her to a different position. However, there is reporting that he let Pam Bondi know that she will not continue as Attorney General on Wednesday, and that she went straight back to Florida to go and pout. And so now we will see what happens moving forward, but it's never a good sign when you have 2 cabinet members be sacked within a 2-week period.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the first administration.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
When
Yeah.
I think he had put in place 27 members and fired them all.
Yeah, yeah.
and it is this kind of inner chaos that tears the system down. It doesn't work. My understanding is that he doesn't pay attention to intelligence reports. He does things off the collar, and when you have people in high regard that are manning your positions, like the Chief Joints of Staff, who gives you a report on the possibilities of going into Iran and briefs you and tells you that this is not a good idea, and he does what he wants to do, then you're winging it.
Well, there's been incredible reporting too. Of course, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, or the heads of the Air Force, the Marine, the Navy, the Space Command. Our top guys in uniform, all genuine patriots that have served this country in uniform and overseas for many years. Mm-hmm. They tell him one thing, but then Mark Levin goes on Fox News and says something different, and he seems he's taken more advice from people on Fox News and on OAN than the actual people in administration. Going back to Steve's point about the first administration, I mean, that was known for he had some actual maybe people that knew what they were doing, like Rex Tillerson and others, and they were all fired. And
Yes.
and now he brought in the second administration, the second term, he brought in the most sympathetic people, just the complete toadies, and he's firing them. So I mean, he's kind of grasping at straws here.
Well, there's no experience necessary, right? I mean, how do you do that? It seems to be the way of the world, not only in how the government is run, but in other places. Everybody wants a puppet.
Well, speaking of no experience necessary, Pete Hegseth, who's SecDef now, who's the top civilian in terms of controlling the military after the president, a former Weekend Fox News host. Recently, footage emerged of an Apache attack helicopter, an H-64, doing a flyby at Kid Rock's house in Tennessee, hovering over his outdoor swimming pool. That's not necessarily within the rules, and so obviously the pilots were disciplined, so they were suspended. But then Pete Hegseth then comes in, overrules the commanders in the field, and reinstates these pilots via tweet. What are we doing here, guys?
It just goes along with
No experience necessary.
That's exactly correct, and
you make up. There are no rules anymore.
No.
If we don't like what you have to say, then we're going to change things.
Yeah.
And if we don't like the way things worked out, we're going to blame you. And that seems to be the rule of thumb at this point in time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things wrong with things, and I'm hopeful that I have said this before, and I am at a point in time where I am on the backside of the bell curve, and I wasn't really anticipating, going down this stretch in chaos. I was kind of hoping that there would be a more peaceful, calmer way to do things, and maybe that's on the horizon. I'm not sure, but right now I'm really concerned, and I'm concerned about my grandkids' future. Lots of things that right now seem to be unanswerable.
Right.
You always want to leave a better future for your kids and
That's
your
correct.
grandkids.
And right now, it doesn't look that way, does it?
Well, and also, what's definitely most frustrating about that paradigm is that we really can't control. But
you got to live your life. That's what we have.
the only thing we can control, though, is
Is-
to take care of business at the voting box. So
That's
great.
exactly
right.
correct.
Okay.
All right, guys,
Correct.
stick around. We'll be right back. Wrap things up here. Of course, make sure to check out Ron's fantastic website, theronsayshow.com. Follow him on Instagram, The Real Ron Say. He's on Facebook as well. Check him out, The Ron Say, on Facebook. And we'll be right back. Stay with us. handle, gentlemen.
Okay, let's wrap this up with little local news with the Lakers and the playoffs and San Antonio and
Okay.
whatever, just to lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
So I'll let you go ahead and start off with it's getting near playoff time, and Lakers are in a bit. They clinched what, third place?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can
50 wins
and
so far.
Luka's having a big year, and whatever. Maybe
LeBron James has embraced his role, and it looks like they're getting along. I guess they've the team has bonded over the fact that they're starting to play golf together. And so,
Wow.
Really.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's all right. How far they go, they're not going to. This team still, I don't believe, get back to. I mean, San Antonio and OKC are the two best teams,
Well, I'm really kind
and
of surprised.
Boston.
Oh,
yeah, Boston looks kind of tough. I think OKC
Oh,
is the team
they
to beat,
look tough now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with San Antonio.
Yo, big time.
I mean, they have. This is Wembanyama's second year. Second year, right?
Only. That's
I
it.
mean, look how bad they were last year. Going through the transition of losing their coach and everything, and now all of a sudden they're a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw. I was looking because they're like 2.5 games behind Oklahoma City now.
Yeah.
That's about
Second best record. They've won almost 60 games.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he threw down 30 and 14, and missed 3 shots, and I don't know how many shots he blocked, but.
He's going to be as what Ron has called the name in bold when it's all over, unless he gets hurt, because he's going to have so many records. I mean, if he
stays healthy.
If he
stays healthy, and
he
if
has to stay healthy.
But I was also looking at his supporting cast. I mean, he's got 2 guards that are averaging like 15, 16 points a game, and they got a guy coming off the bench that's averaging 13, and they got a small forward who's averaging 17 points. I mean, and Wembanyama's averaging what, 25, something like that. Wow, what a
I think it's
yeah.
28.
I don't think he's averaging 28. That's a little too high, I think. 26 maybe.
Because they're still limiting his
25-7.
minutes.
25-7. I'm going to say 25-7.
Well, he's got it. He's looking it up right now.
Well, that's what he's looking it up for.
I know.
25-7, not 28. That's Jokic numbers.
Ooh, you were so close.
What?
24/7.
24-7.
24/7. All right.
Yeah.
24/7.
All right. Well, I mean, look, there was a point in time during the regular season, too, in the beginning where he was coming off the bench, right?
Yeah, so they're still having a minutes
Moving him
restriction
in.
on him
Yeah.
because he was coming back from the blood clots.
Well,
So that's the only thing about him is like that kind of body style. He's too thin, and I don't even know if he can add weight.
He has put on weight though this year because apparently he's eating an all shrimp diet. This is true. I saw this today.
What?
Yeah, he's
All
eating.
Oh,
He's
he's got to dress like a flamingo for
Well,
Halloween. and
let's
paint himself
get
pink.
out. Let's talk about it. Let's
Yeah,
get
let's get
after
into
it. Okay.
All right, we got 2:55 on the clock, guys.
Flamingo. Yeah.
One leg he puts up, that'd be a leg.
Hey Ron, how you doing?
All right, we are back. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks to all of our great stations around the country, specifically a new station out there in Hawaii. Aloha to all you guys out there as well. Maybe stop by Quanabali Beach and have a nice cocktail. Wrapping things up, as always, check out Ron's fantastic website, theronsayshow.com, where you can find a complete archive of our podcasts, as well as access to Ron's fantastic book, Penguin Power. Check that out, folks. Order that for yourself and for all your loved ones. Makes a great read. And, gentlemen, the Los Angeles Lakers have finished the season strong. Only a couple games left. They have pretty much sewn up the 3rd seed. And they look like they're actually getting along. They look like they're having a good time. They're actually playing defense. It seems like they care about each other. I guess they're playing a lot of golf together in their off time, which is bonding experience. How do we think the Lakers and LeBron James, what is it, his like 43rd season? Do you think that perhaps maybe the Lakers can go all the way this year?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they still have a ways to go, and
Right.
the team that I'm kind of focusing on in the moment is San Antonio. The fact that they have made a complete turnabout since Wembanyama's rookie year. They were going through a change with Coach Pop leaving, and they weren't a good team last year, and now they've got a good supporting cast, and Wembanyama's having a great year, and they've got the second best record in the NBA, and they look like they might have a shot at toppling OKC.
I got a question. If they were that bad last year, going into this year, meaning San Antonio, do they get a different schedule?
I don't think it's like because the NFL does that.
I know that's why I'm
Yeah,
saying
I
it.
don't think basketball does that because you
yeah.
play everybody from you play each team and then you play your division.
No, just saying. That's all.
I think, we've seen this before. I'm a big fan of the Spurs organization because I was such a huge Pop fan. And, of course, Pop, he had to step away for some health reasons. He's still involved in the team, though. He's got kind of like a honorary role. But they've done this before, remember? They were dominant with David Robinson.
Yes.
David Robinson got
Twin
hurt.
Towers.
Then they got Tim Duncan, and now they're back with Wembanyama, who is going to be in a lot of record books if he keeps it up right now.
Just stay healthy. That's all he's got to do.
Out of the East, the Detroit Pistons, they've won 55 games. Boston surging in the right times, 51 games. But the OKC Thunder, folks, best team in the league, 60 wins. They're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah,
very much.
Well, they are obviously the favorite, but I think San Antonio is going to possibly get to the promised land. I think they're going to get in that final game. All right. That's it for this week's. We'll see about that. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next week. Thanks so much for joining us.
All right, very nicely done, gentlemen.
You may have to edit out that piece that I just messed up.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Anyway, all good.
All right, thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Okay, got it.
Hey, Corey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Is Jen in the office today?
I don't know. I'll take a look. She
All right,
wasn't here when we started.
All right, if she is, can you tell her to call me?
I will.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Presenting his arguments with an eloquent insistence. The ACLU, the American Criminal Liars Union. Here's what Thomas Paine said in 1797. It has been the error of the schools to teach astronomy and all the other sciences and subjects of natural philosophy as accomplishments only, whereas they should be taught theologically, or with reference to the being, capital B, who is the author of them. For all the principles of science are of divine origin. Man cannot